Welcome back to the channel. Today's video we're going to be testing out the new Hipa chain. We're going to be using it on the Stihl MS271 and the Stihl MS390. Now I'm going to do a comparison between the chains from a brand new Stihl and the one sent from Hipa. I'm not going to do it on the Stihl 390 because I don't have a brand new chain from Stihl. It has a few tanks on it and I haven't filed it just yet. And I don't think that would be a fair comparison, just because if my filing was a little off, it might not get the same results. So we're going to be testing it out on some ash. Stay tuned. I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so now we got our Hipa chains on our bars. Going to add some fuel, take them out to the wood pile, let them warm up, and then we'll get into the cutting. Alright, first up is the 271. We got probably a 14-inch piece of ash here that we're going to cut into. Got the saw warmed up. Here we go. Okay, that was the first cut with the Hipa chain. We're going to swap it out, put in the Stihl chain. Okay, so we swapped out the chain. We now have the Stihl chain on. And the Hipa chain, it cut fairly smooth. Didn't notice anything abnormal about it. Okay, so that was the Stihl chain. I didn't notice any difference on time. Cut just as smooth. We'll have to check the timer to see what that was, and we'll put it in the video then. One thing I did notice straight out of the box with the Hipa, the chain wasn't bound up. Stihl, sometimes they come and you gotta flip them, and it's not a big deal if you know how to do it. It's just one little thing that's nice, that you don't have to mess around with the chain. It comes out and unfolds properly. So that was nice. So we're going to switch over to the Stihl 390 and make 2 cuts. Alright, so that was the 390. I tell you what, I bet you that 271 was cutting quicker than that. We'll have to check it out. So, the Hipa chains are pretty nice. I think they, you know, it's only one cut. I don't know how they'll stand up, you know, long term. Stihl usually has a sharper, I wouldn't say sharper, but like a harder metal, so they they seem to not file down as quick, if that makes sense. The Oregon chains I noticed are just a little bit softer and makes filing a little easier. So the longevity I'm not sure about. This video wasn't about that. It was just kind of a comparison to see what my thought was. But between the Hipa and the Stihl straight out of the box, it seems like they, you know, pretty neck and neck. And like I said, we'll have to check the times, but I felt like the Hipa wasn't bad. So I'm going to add the link in the description where you can find those chains. I believe they're on Amazon or at the Hipa store. So I didn't show you guys this, but in between clips I was gathering the chips. Yeah, so here's the Stihl 271, Stihl chain, Hipa chain, Stihl 390 with the Hipa chain, not Stihl, that's a Hipa chain. And as you can see, these chips all seem to be, you know, about the same size. I did notice on the Stihl 390 that was a full chisel, and the Stihl and Hipa, those were semi-chisel. That might have been one of the reasons why it didn't cut as quick as the Stihl and the Hipa chain on the 271, because the full chisel might have been taking bigger bites out of the wood. Yeah, so they're all kind of comparable. The other thing I wanted to mention was, if you look at the chip size, it's not huge, because ash is kind of, in my opinion, is right in the middle. It's kind of a hardwood, but it's also sort of soft. It's not like pine or maple, and it's certainly not oak or locust. So it depends on the piece that you get also. But these are mid-sized chip pieces in my opinion, and I think both chains did a good job. So my final thoughts on the Hipa chain is, you know, right out the box, it's pretty nice. It's comparable to the Stihl. It's a little bit cheaper. If you're a Stihl guy and you like your Stihl chains, I appreciate that. I'm the same way. I would recommend maybe picking up one of these if you get into an area where you might think there was rocks or you might hit a nail. This is kind of, dare I say, the economy version of chains. So it's a little bit cheaper, but it holds up, it cuts, it saves you a little bit of money. So if you don't want to hit something, maybe this is the way to go. Appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video. See you next time from the Neighborhood Go-To Guy.